Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Annie Z with What If Naruto was Arceus' Jinchuriki Part 6. So last time we saw Naruto destroy Lee in the tuning exams in the second round. We then saw Yariko kill a few loose ends like some of the ambush shinobis. And then we saw Naruto and Yariko get engaged in their fight in front of the nobles of the country. So let's get started. So Mr. Naruto, I heard you got engaged. Too bad mother wants your blood, Gaara says, as everyone, including Gaara, felt fear when they saw a red aura being emitted from the stands. How dare you threaten my Naruto darling? You will die, Yariko says as she appeared in front of Gaara, only to be stopped by Naruto, who kissed her and then pet her hair. It's okay, Yariko-chan. I won't lose to that weak Jinchuriki, Naruto says as Yariko purred into his hands. Fine, Naruto-kun, but if he even grazes you, he's dead, Yariko says with red aura, as Gaara and Shukaku, as well as everyone, shook from fear. Mother, what's this? I'm scared, Gaara said. It's nothing, kill him. We are the strongest. Jinchuriki, Shukaku says, fearfully, but his need to prove himself as an alpha overpowered his logic. Yariko then kissed Naruto for a few minutes as she was dominated by Naruto for the whole minutes. She then broke the kiss, gasping for air, as the males were trying not to look at this, as they had a tight feeling in their pants, because this goddess was being dominated. Good luck, Naruto, my darling. I know you can win, Yariko says, as Naruto hugged her before he let her go. She then went to the Kage stands. Oh Kage, I'll be staying here to watch my darling, Naruto. You and your friend, this Kazukage, will go to the regular stands, Yariko says. Yariko, stop this. I let you interrupt the tuning exams, make a mockery of our tradition with your engagement. But you cannot demand this. This area is for Kage's only, Hiruzen says. We now skip a few seconds as we see a beaten up Hiruzen and Kazukage running out of the stands, bleeding everywhere, as Yariko decided to have some fun and shot a blast disintegrating their clothes. But before she can even see their disgusting bodies, she turned to look at Naruto as she blushed at Naruto's body, so she doesn't have to see the disgusting sight. The leaf and the sand were shocked to see their beloved Kages running naked, as they all saw them all battered up. My beloved Naruto darling, I can't wait to see you defeat that dumb redhead monster. And then we could go and picnic and have some fun, and maybe we can practice baby making, Yariko says, as she dreamed of her picnic and the things Naruto would do to her. Back to the fight. After getting the go from the Hokage and the Kazukage, the proctor stepped up and made sure the two contestants were ready, as he waved the red flag, signaling them to begin the fight. Gaara sent a stream of sand at Naruto, who used the Pokemon move Surf to counter, as all the sand got wet and dropped to the floor from the water of the surf. As the water of the surf hit Gaara, making his sand skin drop as well, as all of the sand in his little bag thing also turned wet. Is that all, Gaara? I expected more from the demon of the sand, Naruto says as he looked up in the Kage stand to see Yariko and Mito, who were dancing of joy and cheerleading for him, as they said go go Naruto as he smiled. What was that you said about killing me, Gaara? I guess you're all that. Just bark and no bite. You Bijus are weak, Naruto says, insulting Shukaku, causing both Gaara and Shukaku to get mad, as both of them started to leak One Tails chakra, and the sand started to come out of nowhere. How dare you mock mother? Nobody mocks mother. Mother is the strongest. I will prove my existence by killing you, Gaara says. Naruto starts to laugh at seeing Gaara's pathetic display of anger. I'm so terrified now. Yeah, right, like I'd be terrified of a boy who calls a male demon his mother, Naruto says, mocking him, as Shukaku got mad, and so did Gaara. Don't disrespect mother, she is better than you. Perhaps I will take your fiancé, your mate, and show her a real man, like mother tells me to. Just you wait, I'll make you watch as well, Gaara says, as Shukaku forms sand, not knowing how angry Naruto got, as Naruto was enveloped in golden light. Ha 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 ha, kid, you're gonna pay for the disrespect you show me. Then I will have my host have fun with your fiancé in front of you, Shukaku says as he was fully formed, as Naruto got even more mad. Naruto, take my power. Show this low-class demon what happens when he messes with your mate. Show him the power of a Jinchuriki of a god, the Jinchuriki of Arceus, Arceus says, from his mind as Naruto's golden aura grew as the world started to shake from the power output. Lava started to spill from the ground as the clouds started to swirl from around Naruto. The weather started to change as it went from snow to rain to thunder to hail as tsunamis, earthquakes, and other natural disasters happened. As the clouds turned golden, Naruto then let out a huge roar that sent everyone flying out of the village. The civilians were killed, while Genins and rookies just barely managed to use their chakra to save themselves. The Chunins and Jonins managed to save themselves, but still came out damaged a bit. Yariko and Mito, however, were fine because Yariko made a barrier. When the smoke died down, even those sent flying out of the village, which was all except from Yariko and Naruto and Mito, because even Shukaku was sent flying out. The smoke finally died down to reveal Naruto in what looked like a golden horse, a golden version of Arceus, as they saw unrivaled power before their eyes. Now you see the power of a god, mortal, Naruto says, as in seconds he appeared in front of Shukaku, punched him, sending him flying, before he gave Shukaku's tails a grab and slammed him into the ground, destroying the Uchiha and Hyuga compound. Naruto then kicked Shukaku, sending him flying into Inuzuka district, and then making Shukaku land on Jiraiya's house. Naruto then smashed Shukaku's into the village like he was a hammer, making sure not to touch his house. Naruto having enough threw Shukaku in the air as his eyes goes red, and Shukaku was destroyed because Naruto just used Arceus' most powerful move, Judgment, which could erase anyone or anything. The sand fell down as only Gaara was left with a little bit of Shukaku chakra, just enough to awaken the Ten Tails. As several Jonin who made it back to the leaf to secure the village were killed as the sand fell on them, squishing them. Naruto walked to the arena as he turned around and saw Yariko kiss him, as Mito came and hugged him. Eventually everybody returned to the destroyed leaf village and saw it was in a worse state than the Ninetales attack. The three heard explosions as Yariko used the Bakugan to see what was happening, only to see Orochimaru and Hiruzen fighting, as well as several other leaf shinobis fighting the sound in his hand. "So what's going on, Yariko-chan?" Naruto asked, with his head tilted, which Yariko found cute, and she instantly cuddled his head between her breasts. Mito puffed her cheeks and did a mega pout, as she wanted to be hugged too. "Naruto darling, it seems that the sand and sound have an alliance to take down this hellhole, and the old man will finally meet his end. He's fighting the rogue Sanin, Orochimaru, as well as Hashirama, Tobirama, and, well, your father as well," Yariko says. "Well then, let's just go to the Namikaze compound. I'm not helping this village out," Naruto says. But then his eyes rested on Gaara. "But before I go, I will go and deliver this prize to the Akatsuki," Naruto says, as he grabbed Gaara by the hair and teleports him to the Akatsuki base and teleports back, as Mito hugs him, making Yariko pout as Yariko pries her off and hugs her Naruto. The three then go to the Namikaze estate, ignoring the screams and bloodsheds and the yells for help meters away from them, as Naruto yawned when they entered the house as Yariko dragged him to their room as Mito went to her room. Days later, an Anbu knocked at Naruto's door and Naruto opened it. "What is it?" Naruto says. "Shut up. You and your little group of scaredy cats have been summoned to the Kage's tower by Tsunade Senju, the new Hokage. You disgust me. You never even came to the first funeral, and you cowards hid out in this compound while the invasion was happening," the Anbu said. "Sorry, me and Yariko were making out, and Mito was tired," Naruto says, knowing it will piss off the Anbu. "Why, you little disrespectful little shit? All the shinobis are required to attend the funeral of the Kages, and you are required to help out in invasions. But you and your little whore had a makeout session, and you think that's more important? Lots of people died because of you. Lots of shinobis could have been saved. And not to forget that power-up you used killed so many, all of the civilians," the Anbu says as Naruto kicked him in the balls with some of Arceus' power. "Listen here, you little weak shit. We'll be there in an hour. We're not going now. And I suggest you show me some respect, or else I will show you the power that I use against Arceus." As Naruto slammed the door in the Anbu's face, the Anbu tried to blast it open, but his father's seals weren't weak. In fact, they were impenetrable, as he and Yariko cuddled up. An hour later, the three were walking to the Kage's office, with shinobis look at him with disgust, anger, and rage, while looking at all three of them with disgust, anger, and rage. Mito and Yariko were also getting glared. "Look, it's the cowards. They hid while Lord Fur did all the work. I expected this from the demon, but not from, from Lord Fourth's daughter and the Bakugan princess. Lord Mem is the only good Namikaze. That demon used that horse transformation and killed all our villagers. Hopefully Lady Tsunade executes them. Our rookies are still damaged because of them, was what Yariko and Naruto Mito heard as they smiled. Naruto, darling, is this what you had to go through? Yariko asked as Naruto nodded as she pulled him into a hug. So this is what Oni-chan had to go through because of Jiraiya. I don't want to be Hokage anymore for this dirty village. I'm going to help Naruto and Yaku fix this world. The three arrived to see Tsunade and Jiraiya in the office. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Mito Uzumaki Namikaze, and Yaku Susuki. So you are the ones who were cowards and let the Leaf Village be overwhelmed while you slept in your father's protected compound, Tsunade says. Well, I did do that, but I also took out the One-Tails that was more of a threat than Orochimaru himself, Naruto says, smugly. How dare you? The third could have used your help, you stupid idiot, Jiraiya says. Well, what I did was more than enough for this village, considering what the village has done to me, Naruto says. How dare you? Your treatment in this village was for good cause, you selfish prick. This prophecy demanded it, Jiraiya says as Yaku appeared in front of him, punching him over and over. Then Tsunade called the Ambu, however Mito took them out. You two stop, Naruto says as he looks at Tsunade with a glare. Tell me, what do you want? Naruto says. Well, Naruto, we want you to give your Namikaze Uzumaki air rights to Menma. I don't care if you stop the One-Tails, you don't deserve that, you coward, Jiraiya says. I'm guessing you agree with him, Naruto says as Tsunade nodded. Well, I won't give my father and mother's gift to anyone, Naruto says as Jiraiya launched himself at Naruto. You fool, we have to keep the child prophecy happy. We'll give him all the needs, even that girl, Jiraiya says as Naruto laughed. Never, Naruto says as Yaku intercepted Jiraiya's hit attack and used a kunai to cut his penis off. As she then does some hand signs, and then his books are lit on fire. Yaku was about to go and stab him over and over before he died, but Naruto hugged her and stopping her. He knew that she could get in trouble for killing Jiraiya. The three walked home, as when they got there, Menma was there. So, Demon, have you finally come to give me my rights to the Uzumaki Namikaze and the girl? Menma says, looking at Yaku, but Yaku kneed him in the dick and kicked him over and over. My dick? Why does she keep on hitting my dick? Menma says, I must kill Menma. He's getting in the way of me and Naruto. My darling Naruto, Yaku says to herself as Naruto hugged her. You think I will give you my rights? Never, Naruto says, kicking him out of the Uzumaki compound as the three entered the house. Time skip a month. The three stayed in the house, avoiding being harassed. When they heard knocking, Naruto opened the door to see it was Shikamaru. Naruto, we need your help. Sasuke defected, Shikamaru says. And why shouldn't my darling Naruto care? Yaku says as she held Naruto protectively. Shikamaru, you're the only good person who treated me fairly. Leave, and I won't hurt you. I already told Tsunade that anybody that enters this compound is an enemy and will be killed. And until she gives us rights and stops treating Menma like he's a god and treats us all fairly, we won't be going on missions, Naruto says, as Shikamaru sighed. One day later, the retrieval team returned empty-handed with Menma nearly dead. Naruto, Mito and Yaku were called into Tsunade's office. You selfish idiots. I sent Shikamaru to ask you for your help and you declined. Now we are missing our greatest asset, the Uchiha, Tsunade says. Should have agreed to our conditions then, Yaku says, as Naruto nodded, agreeing with her as Yaku found that cute and pulled him into a hug. How dare you, Tsunade says. This is a strike for our rights, Mito says. The mission failed because of your own arrogance, Naruto says. How dare you, Naruto, Sakura says, slapping him, as Yaku got mad. You should have gone like the good leaf dog, attack dog you are, Sakura continued as Yaku's anger rose even further. It's not my fault he's gone, Naruto says. It is all your fault. He's gone in the hands of that monster Orochimaru. I bet you two were working together. You two are both monsters. You just wanted him to get away from Yaku, Sakura says, as Menma smiled, hoping Yaku would see Naruto as a monster and then he could get her. Yeah, you're a monster. He was our classmate, our friend, and you let him get taken. For what? For power, money, fame? For Yaku? Menma says as Hinata stepped up. Menma is right, you monster, Hinata says, as she was trying to impress Menma. However, they were all cut off when Yaku slapped Sakura, Menma, and Hinata, sending them flying. That's it, I haven't had enough, Yaku says, as she looked at Naruto and nodded, as he nodded back as his sister caught on, as they all pulled out a kunai and drew a line in the middle as they put on the Akatsuki robes. Mito, Naruto, Yaku, you're part of the Akatsuki, you idiots! Why? They'll kill me too, Jiraiya says, with fear as Naruto starts laughing, causing the others to laugh. No, they won't, Naruto says. Well, Naruto and Yariko convinced them that they just need the dark side of the Nine Tails. So, your favorite student will be targeted, Mito says. And take this as a resignation, Yariko says, as she stabs Sakura, killing her, or leaving her near death actually, as the three went to the Namikaze house, but making the others think that they left the village. That's all